YouTube. So I've been asked to make this video several times, so I figured I'd finally do it. I'm going to show you how I sharpen a knife. I'm not going to actually sharpen the thing on camera, but I'm going to go through all the steps. Definitely not an expert at sharpening. There's plenty of people on YouTube who do it way better than me, but I think I'm fairly good at it. Yeah, done it quite a bit now. This wasn't my first sharpener, but it's the one I think I'm gonna stick with for a while. I've got the KME, and I went ahead and got the deluxe kit because I figured I'd be buying all this stuff later on anyway. So why not buy it all to begin with? It's $320 straight from the KME website. You can get the basic kits on Amazon for, I don't know, probably around $200 to something. Not a whole lot's in this case right now. Got 6 diamond stones, if you count this one. It came with 4 regular stones, some honing oil, KME's own emulsion, which I didn't really like too much. And came with the thickness compensator. So if you use different stones that are thicker, you can compensate for that. Of course, the stop collar. This, yep. Here's all the main diamond stones I use. The 50 grit beast, 100, 140, 300, 600, and 1500. Of course, I'll move on to stropping, but normally when I'm sharpening a knife for the first time, like this CGRB frac, I will reprofile the edge, and the 50 grit beast will do that rather fast. Very rough, but when I'm trying to get more of a mirror-like finish, I try not to start with this unless it's just a really hard steel. Normally I start with 100 or 140 so I don't scratch it up as bad. So what I'm doing on this one, I'll start with 100. I'm going to zoom out. I do like the system. It holds the stones pretty well. You can easily take this off. Everything comes apart. You get a nice sturdy rod that doesn't bend. Now let's get on to the steps of sharpening. Got my equipment. Here's something else you'll have to buy if you want to be really good at it. It's a digital level. You can get these for like $15 to $20 on Amazon. Don't have to be any specific brand. Normally start by setting it on my base, zeroing it out. I'll set my KME to what edge angle I like. In this case it's 16. It's about as low as I can go without making all my different stones and strops adjust to it. I could probably move the knife back a little and get 15 if I wanted to. So you can take this. I can't really. Well, I can't really move the camera, but pretty much this whole edge is between 16.1 and 16.4. You don't want too big of a difference, or you'll have a wider edge at one spot. And what's really important for this, you'll need a Sharpie And you're never too good at sharpening to use a Sharpie. You want to color your edge and also color where you're clamped down. In case it moves, you'll notice it, or in case you got to take it out, you can put it right back in the same spot. What else? Now, this obviously ain't the best sharpener there is. There's definitely better ones out there, but for the money, I'd say this probably is the best. Or at least in my opinion. It's made in the USA and pretty solid. Everything's metal that needs to be metal. Now, reprofiling a blade isn't no quick task at all. Sometimes I'll spend 3 or 4 hours sharpening a knife. But with more budget steels like this one, AR RPM 9, shouldn't take quite as long. Also depends on how low your factory angle was at. This looks like 20 to 25. Not sure though. If you're just sharpening the angle that's already there, you should be done in 30 minutes, no problem, but you can't rush this. Alright, I'm going to start when reprofiling. You want to keep going until all your Sharpie is gone and you have a burr on the other side. I will show that once I get there, but I try to keep going the same direction the whole time. For example, like that. I'll do probably 10 passes and then switch to the other side, because you never want to stay on one side too long. You'll end up having a bevel bigger on one side than the other. And it's important to keep count, or close to it at least. I didn't even show how easy it was to switch sides. And then I'll work my way this way. But I'm gonna go ahead and spend forever reprofiling it, and I'll be back. Alright, that took a bit longer than I thought it was going to, but I have got a burr. Very hard to see, but you see a really thin line at the edge. That is your burr. Very sharp. It's rolled over metal. Once you get to this point and you go to the other side, it's always very important to do an upswept, a light upswept motion, just to knock the burr off. Might have to do a couple passes to get it off. Just want to get that sharpness off before you start doing your next stone. But yeah, I'm going to do at least 10 passes on each side with all the rest stones. I'm not going to show all that. But I did have to use the 50 grit. Very rough finish right now. You could stop here, get the burr off completely, and it's still pretty sharp. But I like to go farther. Alright, so I'm finally finished with all the diamond stones. Got a little bit bigger bevel than I wanted to have, but still it's not too bad. Looks good. The thicker your blade is, the wider your bevel's going to be when you lower your edge angle. Some knives will have a 15-degree edge and it won't even look like it, but this one, it does look like it. Doesn't look too bad when you finish it with a 1500. Kind of cloudy. Still some lines in it. Now I'll move on to my favorite part. Gunny juice. This stuff is not cheap. Well, I guess however you look at it, it's like $25 to $30 a bottle. We'll start with 12. And you gotta have a strop for each one if you're using it on your fixed angle system. You still need a strop for each one, even if you're doing it by hand. Let's see. I have those too. Sometimes I do it like this, but usually just do it on my KME. I get these off Amazon. Pretty cheap, like $11, $12. Basically shake this up really good. Put one little bitty dot on your strop. Spread it around real quick. Let it dry. And you can sharpen or use it on several knives before you have to put more on there. Start with 12. Go 9, 6, 3, 1, 0.5. Don't have 0.25 or 0.1. Need to get those. Yeah, you've seen how the edge looks now. I will be back once I've done all the gunny juice. It'll look better. I'll show you how good it cuts too. Alright, so I'm finally finished with this. Didn't get a perfect mirror polish. Still have some micro scratches in it. Just got tired of going over it. Especially for the price of this knife, it doesn't deserve too much time. But if I kept going over it, I'd get there. Just like I said, when you use that 50 grit beast, it's a little bit harder to get all the scratches out at the end, which is what I was facing. Now this is completely unnecessary. You don't have to do this, but it sure does make it look cool. I'm aware that it doesn't work. On some stills, probably isn't the best to use a mirror edge, but I couldn't tell you which ones are better for it and which ones aren't. Let's check out the edge. After each gunny juice, I'll wipe off the edge so I don't mess it up. I don't even know if that's necessary, but yeah, I could do this all day. Alright, done cutting paper. Now I don't know how long this edge will last. Probably a long time since I got 200 knives or so and won't get used a lot, but ooh, about cut myself. But if you don't want to go the gunny juice route, that's totally fine. It's not for everyone. Just go through the KME steps. Then you'll still need to strop it with at least one thing. Even these basic little green things that come with a strop, they work. I mean, you're not going to have a shiny edge, but your knife will be super sharp. And you'll be good to go. This probably ain't the best sharpening video, but I mean, I can't sit here and video the whole step. It'd be like a several hour long video. By the way, this is a CJRB frac, not the sliceiest of blades, but it was what I was sharpening. So yeah, if you like this video, subscribe. I'll link some stuff down below. And yeah, give me a like or comment. See you in the next one.